Hi. So today we're going on an adventure. We've got the 2021 Honda Passport with a U-Haul tow dolly connected. Today we're going to be helping a friend of mine pick up a car. I live in the San Luis Obispo, California area, and we're going to be driving to Fresno, which is about 200 miles away. All right, so today we're going to Fresno to pick up a Honda Fit for one of my buddies, and we're buying it from a business, or he's buying it from a business. So it's got an electrical issue, I guess. They keep putting batteries in it. It keeps eating the batteries. So I don't know if it just needs an alternator or if there's something that's causing some sort of parasitic drain. So we're going to take a look at that. The car is stickered, meaning it's logoed with the company logos for the business that it's coming from. So we're going to remove those. We're also just going to, do a general cleanup and stuff. It's a vehicle that's, it's been a company vehicle. It's a fleet vehicle. So because of that, people eat their cheeseburgers all over it, and they grab everything with their grubby paws, and they don't care about it. They don't clean it up, that kind of stuff. So we'll clean it, shampoo the carpets, clean up the seats, that kind of stuff, remove the stickers. We're going to put a new battery in it. We might have to put an alternator in it. We'll see what we come across with that. And then we're going to give it an oil change because it hasn't had its oil changed, and it hasn't really been driven much in the last year or so. So it hasn't had its oil change in about a year, and it's been not many miles, but we're going to do that anyway. We'll take a look at some other things, spark plugs, air filter, etc. So it should be an interesting day. So let's talk about the U-Haul trailer. So U-Haul rents trailers to do car transportation, and they have two different ones. They have a tow dolly, which is the one that I just showed. It's got two wheels, and it tows the front of the vehicle. They also have a car transport trailer. The trailer is obviously bigger, and the car goes on top of the trailer. So let's kind of talk about some of the reasons why you would choose either one. The tow dolly has the advantage of being pretty lightweight. The trailer itself is only about 750 pounds. It has a low capacity. Its capacity is about 3,500 pounds, and if you're using a dolly, you should be towing a vehicle that's front-wheel drive, not a vehicle that's all-wheel drive or a vehicle that's rear-wheel drive. You want the back wheels to be able to freewheel. Obviously, it relies on the vehicle that you're towing for its back wheels. Because your car ends up getting loaded on the dolly. It's using the trailer for the fronts and then the car for the back. Which is fine, but if you've got a problem with suspension or a bad bearing or something like that, that can definitely cause problems. Really, the benefit to the dolly is that it's lightweight. It's it's 750 pounds, and it's pretty easy to move around with just about any vehicle. So U-Haul wants your tow vehicle to weigh at least 80% of the combined what you're towing. So the Honda Fit weighs 2,600 pounds. The trailer's 750. That means I'll be towing about 3,400 pounds. That 27 is actually it's the curb weight of the Fit. So depending on what capacity or what's inside it, and stuff like that, it could be slightly more, slightly less. The U-Haul trailer, the car transport trailer that they rent, it's a dual axle. It's got a much higher weight capacity. I believe it's 5,000 pounds is the capacity, but the trailer itself weighs 2,000. So when you're towing with something that's on the smaller side or foreign, Japanese, I guess is probably the word, like my Honda Passport, which has a 5,000 pound towing capacity, you're right there. The Honda Fit is 2,600, the trailer is about 2,000 empty, so you're right at 5,000 pounds. So obviously it's heavier. The problems with the tow dolly over the trailer is that the tow dolly is incredibly difficult for you to back up. So you've got, with a normal trailer, you have one pivot point. You have the pivot point, which is the ball that's connecting the vehicle, your tow vehicle, to the trailer. So it's, it's fairly reasonable to back up. The tow dolly has a pivot point in the middle of it where the front tires of the vehicle sit that you're towing. So really you end up with two pivot points. You end up with one on the ball, and then you end up with one on the trailer itself. So it can be a little bit, it's not, you're not backing up a tandem, but it's kind of in that way, like physics-wise, like backing up a tandem, where you've got, two different pivot points that have two different axle lengths that then create, different geometry for how you back up. And you just need to be more cognizant, because the way you pitch the first trailer kind of adjusts the way that the second trailer gets pitched. The tow dolly is obviously easier to tow, but if you're doing like mountains and stuff like that, the trailer definitely has some benefits because it has a brake in it. So all U-Haul trailers are designed to be towed with a 4-flat connector, which is the standard like trailer connector that has 4 pins. It's got 1 silver pin and 3 covered black pins that you can't really see. That 4-flat connector is like the only thing that it connects are your tail lights and your brake lights. It doesn't have any sort of brake control in it. U-Haul does that so that any vehicle can tow their trailers. It doesn't have to be something, a big truck with a brake controller or something like that. They want to be able to have anybody tow their vehicles. So the way that they make brakes happen on that big trailer, on that auto transport trailer, is the tongue of the trailer, when you hit the brakes in your vehicle, the tongue collapses and it activates a brake cylinder that then tightens up the brakes on the trailer itself, and then that in turn makes the tongue start to separate again, and then the brakes are released, and so it's kind of like this process where the trailers, I don't want to say it's bouncing against your car, but it kind of is, because as it gets closer to your car, the brake is tightening up, then it's pulling away from your car. I will say with a vehicle on it, it tows really well. When the trailer is empty, it's a pain. You hit the brakes and it's like it stutters against your car because it's got like no weight to it, even though it's a 2,000-pound trailer. It'll like get close to your car, then hit the brakes, then fall away from your car, then get far away, and then hit the brakes, and like it just goes back and forth, kind of like a ping pong, until it approaches 0. So if you're driving in any way aggressively with it, you definitely notice that it's there. Obviously with the trailer you can tow anything you want to. It can be 4-wheel drive, it can be rear-wheel drive, it can be whatever. When I towed the Mini Cooper, I did it with that trailer, and that was because the car sits really low, and it was already lowered, and I didn't want to have to worry about like the bumper scraping the ground or something like that. But for this Honda Fit, I'll use this. For the Corolla, when I picked the Corolla up, I used the dolly. It's fine. It works well. But this is probably my 5th time renting a car transport trailer from U-Haul. So yeah, I'll see you in a couple hours when we get there. All right, so we've got it loaded up. Here it is. Passport pulling a fit. It's home. The Honda pulled it like a champ. 200 miles. So we're gonna get it washed up. There was some black up there or something, and that really got baked on, probably, ended up pulling the not quite as clean as mine was.
It comes right off though, huh?
Yeah.
So the heat